it is in our nature as humans to have bad thoughts. Having them does not make us a bad people, but executing them certainly does. So if one day you get the idea to become a musician, let me warn you about the consequences of this decision. By the end of this video, you would know if the path of musician is a good option for you or not really. Chapter 1. Motivation. The most important thing behind every decision is a motivation. So, first of all, you need to answer one simple question. Why do I even want to do what I want to do? Let's look at all the potential answers. Case number 1. I seek female attention. Some people take guitar in their hands to attract ladies. If this is the case, all you need to do is to learn Sweet Home Alabama and couple more songs of this type and play them at parties. Not a big deal at all. You could make it work in like a month or even less. But to be honest, no other musician will recognize you as the one if the only thing you know is how to play 3 chords on an acoustic guitar. People who are motivated this way usually drop the music either right after reaching their goal or when they realized that music, as a field of knowledge, is much harder to master than they thought before. Case number 2. To play in the band. If in the first case the problem was in the lack of the opposite sex's attention, then this one is clearly about the lack of social interaction or lack of the social exposure. And unlike the first one, there is nothing bad about it at all. Especially because if you enjoy the company of people that you play music with, there is not a 0% chance that they will motivate you enough to become a better in this field together. If this situation is familiar to you, congrats on that, because you stay in the same row with the Paul Gray of Slipknot, who originally started to play bass just to make friends. Of course, some people start to play in the band to get attention. And in this case, we're getting back to the case number 1. And if it's not the case, then go for it, homie. But remember, chances to get popular and successful are very low. So if you're not enjoying the process itself, then Case number 3. To play for your own joy. Oh wow! Finally, it sounds like internal motivation, which means that it could work even without outsiders like me telling you to do what you really want to do. Nice! On my side, there's no need to say that music is an incredible hobby, with a ton of cool things to discover and a big amount of developable qualities that could be potentially useful in life. Not very cheap, but also not as expensive as extreme sports or drug abuse. So it's relatively accessible and could even be a useful time spending. Case number 4. To make music on my own. Actually, a lot of people from the previous case could move here with the time. So it's just a logical continuation of the last one. The only thing I want to say about it is if you're going to do what you want, please just do. Don't overthink. Do. Even the smallest step towards your goal is better than just standing still. So, go get 'em, boy! And remember, kids, you don't have to be musicians to enjoy any kind of music, especially because it could easily ruin the magic of it for you if you know too much about the subject. Do you really need it? Chapter 2. The traps. I would like to propose an exchange. I will tell you about the psychological traps which will await you on the artistic way, and you will tell me in the commentary section which ones of them feel very familiar to your life experience. Thank you so much. So, what is awaiting you on your artistic way? Point number 1. Comparing yourself to others. There is such a part of the human psyche that loves to whisper in our ear such a dirty shit like, "Look, mate, this other dude play much less than you, but he's so much better than you." Or, "This other band appeared just last year, but already has a much better tour opportunities than your band. Or any other kind of stuff like this actually. It's inevitable, and as a new one in the classroom, you have to learn how to not compare yourself to others from the very beginning. The world around us is an incredibly complicated place, and our brain never takes into account all the necessary factors to perform the proper analysis that will not just draw us to the conclusion that we just fucking suck. So it's our responsibility to learn to do it ourselves. You might be just a self-taught and the other dude might have a good teacher and a better teaching program than you. Other band might have a vocalist from a rich family that knows some people in the industry who could put them in the tours with bigger bands. Life is not fair in general. Equality does exist only as an unreachable concept, and the only thing we could do about it is just accept it. Some things in our life are completely out of our control, so what we could do is to focus on things that are in our control. And the things that are in our control is, could you play or sing something today a little bit better than you did yesterday? If the answer is yes, красавчик. Point 2. Race with the time. At my current age, Oliver Sykes already was a well-known vocalist and has a merchandise company. And are you Oliver Sykes? This point is a direct continuation of the previous one. Sometimes we set absolutely unrealistic expectations of ourselves based on the experience of other people. I could easily compare myself to my peers like Nick Nocturnal as a much more successful YouTuber, or Ethan McCann of Thornhill, who is a much better composer than me. But it would be counterproductive, because all three of us have a much different life circumstances. Point number 3. What you do is not enough. Oh no, my inner perfectionist says I need to play at least 8 hours a day on my instrument to be a good musician, but I'm spending 5 hours a week at best. Fuck it. Just move at your own pace. Because nobody gives a single fuck about how much time have you spent playing your instrument if you achieved the goals that matter to you. So let it not be a problem for you, because all people are different and the pace of different people are, you're not gonna believe me, different. Point number 4. I'm too old to begin. Well, depends on what exactly do you mean by that. Like, of course, you will not become one of the best drummers in the world if you start learning drums at 45. Especially because you need a lot of free time that will be spent on drumming instead of doing your 9 to 5 and then a lot of other life stuff. Because every single skill requires time, effort, and mistakes being made to be developed. But if your goal is to play along with your favorite songs on your free time, why not then? Just realistic expectations are the key. Point 5. I don't love music, I just want to be rich. Are you fucking stupid, Mr. Entrepreneur? In this industry, even children of rich parents are complaining about the impossibility of making a living by just playing live music. So maybe you will just go do another, I don't know, AI startup or shit. Chapter 3. Pros and cons. So what are the obvious pros and cons of this life choice? Let's break it down really quick. The most obvious pros are 1. Ability to play musical instrument. Pretty cool thing by itself. 2. Developed musical ear. Congratulations! Now you hear like your favorite vocalist failing their own songs live. Hell yeah! 3. Ability to distinct different sounds. No, it's not a chainsaw, it's just a guitar with distortion effects. 4. New acquaintances. Sometimes even a very pleasant one, and not just irresponsible drug addicts. Well, okay, but what are the cons? Number 1. Risk of gear acquisition syndrome. Spending your entire salary on a new gear is not funny at all. But let's hope that you will accept the thought from the very beginning that gear will not make you a better musician. But the smart way of practicing, that's what definitely will do. Number 2. Risk of hyperfixation. If you have a lot of problems in your life, there is a chance that music will become your coping strategy and your only interest. Such shit ruined my entire 20s, so I don't recommend it to anybody at all. Number 3. The last but not least. The worst thing that could happen to you is you could end up in a band. But I'll leave it for the next time. Bye.